Welcome back to another episode of What is Truth? It is a good day, and we are both feeling a bit better. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this episode. I can't wait to dig into some of the things we discovered.
Yeah, the person asking this question really did a number on us today for this one, but really exciting. And I would love to jump in it as soon as we can. But let's have a quick word of prayer before we start. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to share the knowledge that we have received from you, Lord, and from the research that we have done, and share it with our viewers. Lord, thank you that we can be here. Thank you that we are healthy, that you always look after us, Lord, and look after our viewers as well. And Lord, allow the Holy Spirit to lead us and lead our discussion and lead the words that we will be speaking, and open the ears of our viewers, please, Lord. We pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So, the question today, we don't have a video, but it's an anonymous person who wanted to ask a question about gaming, online gaming. This is a topic that won't take us 20 minutes to answer.
No, it won't. But when I saw the question, I was very excited because gaming played a big role in my life as I grew up. And it's sometimes a struggle since you stepped away from this to stay away from it.
It is.
And going through the things, it excites you, but it's important to understand what it is and where it comes from.
I've made a decision, obviously, after my conversion, not directly after. I mean, I still played games. I enjoyed playing StarCraft online, Brood Wars, Counter-Strike, and all of that back in the day. But the decision was pretty easy. You know, when I saw what it did to me, you know, how it generated anger and competition and all these things, I decided to leave it. But you're right. I mean, even doing this research and looking back at the games, it brought up some memories. Yeah. Like, wow, okay, I remember playing the games. But we're going to be looking at the dangers, obviously, of this. But let's quickly read the question. It reads, could you please dedicate a program to online gaming and its influence on the young human brain? Also, where do games originate from and why do they have such an addictive influence? A lot of categories to research and look into. So I guess we can get started. Yeah. It will take a deep and thorough response. So I hope you guys are ready for quite a deep conversation and some interesting facts.
Yeah, and even with all of the information that we're going to present, we're not even scratching the surface because it's so big an industry that it's impossible to discover every nook and cranny.
Yeah, and it's not easy to find all the information because it's not available. Because they, you know, whether you're using Google or whatever, the online library is not, always so helpful. You know, so we can't always find all the interesting, esoteric, or you know, the interesting information that one would want to present. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the one part of the question that's very interesting for me is, where do games originate from? When I was young, I can't remember a time where there wasn't a console in the house. where there wasn't an opportunity to play games. But that question never came up. It never came up as to, but where do these games come from? What's the purpose of why they were created?
Yeah, and how magnificent is this sector in the industry? You know, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's massive. Now, I grew up, I was 3 years old when I became a Seventh-day Adventist, so I didn't really have a lot of, as you said, consoles in our house, but I had friends, and there was a lot of motivation to play these games, at my friend's house and all of that. So yeah, I was always surrounded by gaming, and it's always been a addictive, addictive hobby. Yeah.
I remember also going to friends' houses playing straight through the night. You didn't sleep because you didn't care about sleep, because you wanted to finish that game. You enjoyed it so much, sleep wasn't even an option.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a bit younger than me, so I don't know if you remember the LAN. You were LANing with your friends and you had all these cables running. It took about an hour to set up back in the day. Now it's just like you just bring your laptop or whatever and you play. But that was interesting. Right through the night, and you're drinking all these sodas, and and eating all these chips, and you're playing right through the night. It can't be good for you, first of all. But it was an event. Every month or so, we would get together and we would play. We would LAN and play Counter-Strike, and all of these constant messages that's going through your brain. It can't be good for you. But let's see what they have to say.
Let's look at the whole thing. So this is just a picture that shows the rise of gaming revenue visualized. So where it started and how it split into the different consoles, PC, the different platforms on which you can play it.
I remember, Pac-Man, 1980. Mario Brothers, I enjoyed that. And here are all your companies as well. Hey? Nintendo, you have your Sega, your PlayStation, your Xbox in 2002, launched by Microsoft. World of Warcraft, I remember that. I never really played World of Warcraft, did you?
I've played it a little bit, but not as intensely as some of the other games.
Yeah. I think we had different tastes in gaming, you and I. Yeah, Angry Birds, interesting. Pokemon Go, interesting.
And Pokemon Go is quite interesting because when Game Boy was released, they had Pokemon on it. And I remember I just wanted the Game Boy. I think I got a second-hand one that was broken, so it didn't save the game, and there was a glitch. So he got so mad because it didn't want to work. But then that memory got a lot more real, even with the Pokemon series that was out. I remember watching that series like crazy.
So it's the evolution of this game, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then here in 2016, you actually had the opportunity to play as someone that had a Pokemon in his pocket, because you can now walk around and catch Pokemon.
Real life. Drive around in your car and catch all these Pokemons. I never played it, but it was a craze. Eh?
Yeah. So here you can just see how the arcade game started and then it faded away. And now we are here at the end. In 2020, the mobile industry had $85 billion in revenue. PC gaming, 40 billion, console, 33 billion. And there you have virtual reality just starting to make its way in this sector.
Yeah, the pink one, eh?
Yeah.
And it's not going to disappear. I think console will always be there. I mean, mobile is so convenient. You can just lie in your bed and play. But I mean, there'll always be a place, and that's, I guess, what they're going for, not just mobile. There'll always be a place for console. There'll always be additional revenue streams. And now, like you said, the VR and cloud is also making its way in the market.
Yeah. There will always be something for everyone on this earth that they would like.
Yeah, and these giants, I mean, Nintendo and, okay, not Sega really, but Nintendo and PlayStation, all these companies, they're still around. And I mean, Nintendo's been around for decades. Yeah.
And one last thing that caught my eye over here was Grand Theft Auto, number 5. That game reached $1 billion in revenue in the first 3 days of being released.
What, 800 million in the first day? Yeah.
So that's intense.
It's intense. And I can't believe, I never knew, Marlou, I mean, before even doing this research, how big this industry is. I mean, we'll see now, but it is the biggest industry out there. I didn't know it would be the largest industry. The magnitude of this industry is insane.
You think about gaming as something, the kids play.
No.
It's not something that you will ever achieve anything in life with.
Yeah.
And it's such a big thing.
Yeah, and the micro payments that you make within the game and all of that. I mean, we'll look at Fortnite and all these games, but Fortnite is played on mobile.
Yes.
So you sit there and you're playing Fortnite.
Well, it's on mobile, it's on PC, it's on console. So they made it available throughout all the platforms to get more players.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, let's look at the figures. 2024. Okay, so these are all 2024. We're looking at the gaming market, we're looking at Hollywood, so movies, and we're looking at music. So I would have thought music is number one. And maybe Hollywood, maybe. But I thought, wow, remember we did the whole music show as well, episode, and I thought that probably would be the biggest industry.
Yeah, you would think that movies, for myself, would be a lot higher because people binge watch series.
Yeah.
And how many time is wasted in front of the television? But movies and music put together doesn't even come close to gaming.
It's 6 times more than movies. Yeah. And you have all these celebrities, all these... You don't really have... You do. We'll see. But you don't really think about celebrities in the gaming world. Yes, you do. You know, the Steve Jobs creating, iPhone and all of that. But you don't... In Hollywood, it's just so much larger in my mind that I would think... And music, come on, it's even more spectacular.
Yeah, the stars are around you. You read about them. They even have awards there on the ground in Hollywood where stars are placed. So, exactly.
This is the silent cash cow, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So jumping to one of the games, there's just a few statistics that they show. So this was Hogwarts Legacy. It's a game that's played in the era before Harry Potter, which was such a big movie series, franchise as well. And from the time people started playing it, they have killed 7.3 billion dark wizards in the game.
Just shows the activity level.
The activity level. So even they have killed the same amount of dark wizards in the game that you would almost find people in the real life.
In the world.
In the world. And they say that if you take all of the game time put together, it will be equal to 11,000 years spent in the game.
Play. Yeah. And the interesting thing, if you dig a little bit deeper as to who the players are, not the players, the creators and so forth. So the Avalanche Software was the developer for this, hey? And then you have the Warner Brothers who published it. But later on, in 2017, the Warner Brothers acquired Avalanche. So they basically took over the show. And if you look at and now we're looking into the creators and where we'll dig in deeper later, but all 4 of the Warner Brothers, all 4 of them, you can go Google it. Just Google it. All 4 of them were Freemasons. And they all belonged to, and they were all 33-degree Scottish Rite Freemasons. Yeah. And members of the Indiana's Supreme Court. Now, that was Jack Warner. I don't know about the others. But it just shows who is controlling and who is developing and publishing these. The same as what we did in music. Yeah. You know, who's in control. Yeah.
And if some of the viewers are new to Freemasonry and all of those other things, hearing it for the first time, go and have a look at the Total Onslaught series, where their entire system is exposed.
Yeah.
There's also a WhatsApp Prof that was done, Rulers of Evil. that also goes into it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's linked to the Jesuit order as well. And we'll have a quote on that as well later. But the Jesuit order was there to counter the Reformation. But we're not going to, talk about this too much. But I mean, the Freemasons, and we'll show later, the Freemasons rule a lot of this world, from the banking, from the medical world, from the corporations, and this is why we would like to expose them in this sector as well.
Mm-hmm. And if we could just continue with Hogwarts Legacy, we can see that when it launched, it sold 12 million units in the first 2 weeks. And in total, it sold 34 million. And it has a retail sales gross of $1 billion as of March 2025. So that's a lot of money for
it's a lot of
game.
money. There are more. There are games that generate more revenue. But think about 12 million units when it launched.
Yeah.
12 million. That's a lot of items to be sold.
Well, if I think about Minecraft, which is a very big game at the moment also, and it sold more than 250 million copies of that game. So
Like a quarter of a
so
billion
many
copies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are 8 billion. And back then, when was this? When was Minecraft?
Well, it started around 2012, I think.
Yeah, like 7 billion odd people in the world, and you're selling 250 million copies. That's a big chunk of the population. So, I mean, Counter-Strike is also that was my favorite game. And I didn't actually know there was a Counter-Strike 2. I'm not keeping up with the trends of gaming. But Counter-Strike 2 is massive. Yeah. It's a really big game in the market at the moment. And when you look at the stats, you'll see daily average is 1 million. Around about the 1 million mark per day playing this game. Shooting each other to bits and pieces, blowing up heads, doing all of that. And yes, I did it as well. I'm not judging anyone. But we just want to point out the dangers, I guess, in this. But anyway, so peak players being, up to 2 million a day. It's interesting. If you look on the Steam platform, you'll see that Counter-Strike 2 is right at the top at the moment. I mean, that's the first half of 2024. Yep. So for 6 months, $610 million. If we put that into Rand, that is...
times it by almost 20.
Yeah, that is around 12 billion Rand. Just to put it in our perspective, it's a lot of money in 6 months.
Yeah,
just from micro payments within the game. They call it in Counter-Strike 2, they call it cases. You can purchase cases, and it's armor, and it's gear, and it's weapons, and all of that. Just cases made, I don't know the exact, but it was close to 30% of that number was just the cases that they bought.
And it's always to make the play better, to get a better weapon, to make your character better,
improve,
so that you are better than the other players, or something that you would like to play with.
That's what causes the addiction and the motivation to make payments within the game, to be better. Yeah. It's always to be better. It's self. Taking it right back to the beginning of the world. It's all about self. That's what it was. The reason why I stopped playing, the evening that I decided to break ties with StarCraft, I think I was playing StarCraft, was because I got so angry I hit the table. And I thought to myself, I'm walking this path with the Lord, and I have these feelings of anger and revenge. Also revenge. Whoever online, I mean, you're playing with it, you're playing against an actual person. And all these feelings, and I knew this isn't right. Something isn't right here. And people may say, well, I don't get angry, I can control myself. It doesn't matter. It's not always about that. There are a lot of factors involved. When you play heavy competitive sports, whatever, there's also a degree of competition involved. And you and I, we don't participate in very high competitive sports where it can change your character or cause you to feel things that you shouldn't.
Yeah, where your only focus is to dominate the other player.
Yeah. I can't allow that to happen in my life, because I know that used to be the person. Now I'm a Christian. Now I can go back to that world. No, it's playing with fire. It's dangerous.
It is.
In dangerous grounds. Yeah.
If we look at League of Legends, so this is a game I played at university. It's almost like Dota, but if you say that to Dota players, they would get so angry because they say, no, this is not in the same class. Dota is a lot higher than this one, but
it
for
looks
me,
similar.
It looks similar.
I even checked it out before. I haven't played this before, but it's also a multiplayer online battle arena type of setup. Yeah.
And the health of the characters look the same. You have minions spawning, having to take out turrets, and then you have spells that you can cast and special abilities and armor that you can buy, and you have magic and wizards and all of these type of things. And you need to play strategically to dominate the other team. So when I started playing this, I quite enjoyed it. There were some heroes I struggled with, others was a lot easier to play good with. But just looking back at the darkness of this game, I can't even fathom as to why I started playing it.
Because you didn't see it.
You didn't see it, yeah.
And it's heavily excitable. It's made really exciting because you have wizards, you have all these things, demons. If you think of Diablo, it's a similar setup, not really, but you also have you fighting against these demons. Why bring in all these wizards and these witches and all these things to make it more exciting and create more stimulation? Yeah.
Well, there's something mysterious when it comes to evil. And people tend to be drawn towards the evil to find out, but what is this mysteriousness of the evil?
Yeah.
And then sometimes before they realize it, they're in too deep that they can't get out anymore.
Yeah, and they can just say, it's okay, you're fighting against the evil. Good will prevail.
Yeah.
But if you look at it carefully, they're actually destroying you. They're destroying young people's minds because there are all these witches, and you start accepting witches. Because if you look at Diablo even, you have witches and wizards and all these fighting against Lilith, against Satan, whatever, against the demons and all of that. So you have bad fighting against bad. So they create this idea that the wizards and the witches and all these are good.
Yeah.
And that is dangerous for young minds, especially.
Yeah. And looking at the stats for this game, I mean, from 2012, it's around where I started to play, it had 35 million monthly active users. And then the game grew to 2022, it had 180 million active users in that month.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of
playing
people.
the game. Yeah.
And it even goes further. If you look at this, the average monthly players way up in the 100 millions, and the peak players in a day.
So Counter-Strike had 2 million, or close to 2 peak.
Yeah.
So this is 13 million. What makes it so, I mean, I don't know if you know the answer, but what makes Dota and all these type of gameplays so much more attractive? I guess it's so much more stimulating. It's not just one first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to control, and you can develop, enhance your character, and you see that character as yourself. So you're enhancing yourself in essence, almost like Warcraft back in the day as well, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and it's about dominance. You're dominating the other players. And even if you're losing, you try and beat the other players. You try and train and develop until you are able to beat them. I remember I played on a computer. I had my laptop on my side. On the laptop, I had the best items you can buy for your specific hero, and it tells you in which order you need to buy it. So now you're busy playing over here. You're reading on your computer and looking at what skills you need to upgrade first, and it tells basically like a cheat sheet on your side as you are busy playing. And then you're speaking to your friends because it's online, and people get mad sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't help attack someone when your character is maybe low on health, they would swear at you.
Yeah.
Because they're so intrigued in this game, emotions are running high. People are really captured when they're busy playing online gaming.
And it links quite. I mean, this gaming world links quite well with the movie world and series. And I don't know. I regret watching Big Bang Theory back in the day, but I remember when, I don't know if you watched it, but when one of the guys, I think Sheldon, whatever, all his gear in one of the games, I can't remember, they stole everything out of the game, and how frantic it made him. You know, and that was his whole world. He called the police, and he said, they stole from me, you know, because how much time has he put into that game, and they stole from him. So it becomes a whole virtual life, you know, and you gear up to this level of dominance, as you mentioned, and it's taken away from you. So you are nothing. You are, you know, you become this loser in the gaming world. And there's a reality, and then there's a virtual life that you live, and they both become almost similar, you know, for these gamers.
Well, in the virtual world, online gaming, you can do something that you can't do in real life. You can change who you are and see someone online as being a better version of yourself. And it doesn't take that much effort to reach that point. Than it is to go out and exercise, to go out and reach some place or a better position in your job or another degree or something like that.
And they won't understand, because I was also there. I mean, it's a fake profile. So it could be very fake, and most of the times it is. You're talking to a 50-year-old man or whatever, and you're 18-year-old, and you're having these conversations, and you feel emotions that you cannot really feel for someone without personal touch. And I'm not talking about physical touch, but I'm talking about the personal relationship that you build with someone. You know, we get to know God through the Bible. We get to know him through prayer and through doing his will. And yes, people would say, yeah, but you can't see him. No, but he's given us all of this information. That is who he is. Jesus became the Word, and the Word was with us. So we do know Jesus Christ. Can't live in a virtual world. It's very dangerous, even though it feels like it is real. It's not.
But if you look at how society is set up in these days, people were pushed in a certain direction by everything that's going on. And if you look at the players in the world, why gaming was created and by whom, you'd understand what a tool Satan has at his disposal to capture as many people of this earth as possible.
Oh yeah, that's why he has all these he's got tentacles in everything in this world, and that's why the Bible says, "Do not be conformed to this world and the things of this world." And yeah, it's difficult. I know we've been separated from God, but we have to return. We have to get back to God.
Look at the revenue this game makes, League of Legends. People say if they have another name for it, LOL, but LOL. But look at the revenue, 1.8 billion in 2022. It's always over the billion over here.
2.1 billion in 2017.
And it's a free-to-play game. Like you said with Counter-Strike, people buy things in the game. They buy a different suit for their character so that their character can look different.
Yeah. And who do you have to be to create and publish and spread this into the world? If you think about it, you have to be of significance in this world. These are the billionaires out there. We know what the elites are all about, and how if you have a lot of musical talent, what do you have to do? We've done this before. You have to sell your soul. You know, otherwise you can have the most talent in the world. Doesn't matter. You have to sell your soul. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying all of them did, but I'm saying if you look at the connections, Walt Disney, you look at Warner Brothers, you look at all these connections, they're not going to help some Marlo or Robert creating a game. It's not going to happen unless you conform to something.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Fortnite is a big game. I've played it a few times. I wasn't a big gamer. Like I said, I enjoyed my strategy games. But Fortnite, third-person shooter, free-to-play online multiplayer game, and it's big. This is big. It was, I think it's still big. Eh? Still a lot of people playing this game. And the stats, I mean, in 2023, 650 million players on this game. Almost 1 billion
players.
But that's unique players. Hey? That's not re-registering or whatever. It's 650 million players. That is almost an eighth. When this, I mean, we were almost 7 billion people then. It's almost a seventh of the whole, eighth of the whole world.
Playing one game.
One game. It's crazy. And then, and yeah, I've got quite a few references here. Some say it didn't hike to 20 billion, but there are a lot of sources that say it did. But besides the point, whether it did or not, doesn't matter. But that's a lot of money as well. Hey? 2021, 5.8 billion. Then there was a massive hike, according to a lot of sources, 20 billion in 1 year. Yeah, that is a lot of money.
And they keep on updating the game to keep it intriguing for players so that they don't stop playing the game.
Yeah.
Because they want as many people to play to make as much money as possible. Because it's a money-making business.
It's money. And we know the love of money is the root, you know. So money makes the world go around, as they say.
If you look at the game, kids want to have their allowance made out for things that they can buy in the game. They don't want money for real life things anymore. They want it to spend in the game itself.
Mommy, buy me V-Bucks, I think they call it in Fortnite. And and that's more important to them than going out with their friends, socializing, whatever, just playing Fortnite.
And the age restriction is lowered because there's no blood when you shoot the player. So it's this cartoon violence.
Yeah.
And when you shoot someone, you can dance.
Yes.
So you have players shooting people and then dancing over their bodies.
Victory dances over the dead bodies. I don't care. That's still heavy violence.
Yeah.
I know this game, and there's still a lot of violence involved. Yeah. So again, just the peak users, quite a lot. They're all the same, you know, 2 million, 2.5 million users, 14 million in November, peak users. I wonder what happened in November 2024. But yeah. And this is the overall prize pool for games.
Yeah, for game tournaments
Yeah.
being held.
And there's Dota is not very high up on the revenue or peak player list. It wasn't. But I mean, here it's right at the top.
Yeah. In 2021, they had a prize pool of $40 million.
So I mean, what is that value, $40 million to attract and motivate them compared to the 10 billion or whatever, 2 billion that they make in a month? Yeah.
And you will see there, the top overall prizes belongs to Dota too.
And then Fortnite.
And it's interesting when you listen to the person whose company makes Dota too, what he has to say about gaming. And we'll play it a bit later.
Yeah, it is interesting. So it would be interesting to now look at we spoke about it before. Where did everything start? I don't know how far back you can remember. I think I did ask you earlier. I guess I remember Nintendo. I think that's where it started for me. Cartridges.
Yeah.
Playing Mario Brothers. What else was there on Nintendo?
Well,
Car games.
Yeah. You had that. What was that red car driving Roadrunner? It was a Roadrunner.
I do remember that so well. And what about that little man or woman on a bull or something jumping through that fire hoop?
Oh, the circus thing.
Yes,
it was
the
circus
thing. Yeah. Sorry, but I completely killed that one. But you remember that game, eh?
I do.
And that was exciting. And that brought excitement until there was need for more and more and more revenue and all of that. So what's interesting for me here is Hiroshi Yamauchi. He was the great-grandson of Fusajiro Yamauchi. And I think Hiroshi was the third president of Nintendo. But I was just looking for links out there, and how did they get started? I mean, yes, they all started in the garage, as they say, whatever. But as you read here, his first hit came when he made a licensing agreement with Walt Disney in 1959 for his plastic playing cards. Now, that's interesting. Nintendo targeted its playing cards as a tool for party games that the whole family could enjoy. They always had this advertising campaign for, obviously, family. And you'll see it in a lot of these industries. It's always family or whatever, Netflix. I don't know what their slogans are, but it's all that the family can enjoy.
Well, they even have a campaign to get people to spend time on Sundays for the whole family.
They do. It's becoming more prominent. Disney's tie-in was made towards that end. So that's what boosted their business at that point, was cards. And obviously you can gamble with cards, and there's a whole thing around cards, simple card games. And you can also see on the cards where the origin of that as well. We won't go into that. But what type of connections do you have to have in this world? As I said, it's not just sheer talent. That's not going to make you flourish. Not at all. It's these connections. And we'll talk about Walt Disney now. But the next game for Nintendo was Donkey Kong, success. And the next game that Nintendo created or developed was Donkey Kong. Do you remember Donkey Kong? Did you ever? You're a bit younger again, as I mentioned.
Well, I didn't play it when it came out, but I played it when we went to university. Sometimes you will feel silly and you want to play the old classics.
On your PC, or was it arcade?
On my PC.
Oh, you didn't play it on the arcade?
No.
Okay.
We downloaded a specific program to enable us to play the arcade game on the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says the success positioned Nintendo for market dominance, 1980s, 90s. The game debuts Mario, remember Mario, who became Nintendo's mascot and one of the world's most recognizable characters. It was mass marketed in multitudes of products, including breakfast cereal, toys and television, cartoons and all of that. Who makes that happen? Who makes that happen? Who spreads it across everything? Yeah. Who's involved here? Which connections do you have to make?
Where do you get that initial money from to spread the advertisement so big?
Yeah, and that was, connection with Walt Disney as well.
And looking at Mario also, it's still going on, the franchise. There's still games coming out now that has to do with Mario.
Yeah.
There's even a movie out about Mario.
Yeah.
And Little Light Studios also did an awesome video going into the Mario movie, talking about what is the actual message being portrayed in that movie.
And the symbolism there, the M on his hat. And I saw all of that. And there's Mario Odyssey. And when I looked at it, there was a bit of nostalgia, just from all the memories came back from playing Mario. Not that I wanted to play it, but it was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know there's Mario Odyssey and all these, obviously. But it's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gameplay where you had a simple plumber that has to go and rescue a princess.
The princess who was captured by some dragon. Interesting. Just something to think about. But let's look at Walt Disney quickly, just to make that connection. Who was Walt Disney? So it looks like, if you look on the left, his ID card, the Order of Demolay for boys. So I went and I looked, what is the Order of Demolay? It's the youth. It's a Freemason system of the youth up to 21, I think it was, 12 to 21. And they can then join this club. It's a Freemason club that you join. So you can see that W.E. Disney, he was part of this order. And he says, he quotes on the right, "I feel a great sense of obligation and gratitude toward the Order of Demolay for the important part it played in my life. Its precepts have been invaluable in making decisions, facing dilemmas and crises. Demolay stands for all that is good for the family and for our country. I feel privileged to have enjoyed membership in Demolay." Now, Demolay you'll see on the pyramid, it's right at the bottom. It's the precursor, I would say, not precursor, but it develops the young boys and girls. There are girls as well, not in the Demolay, but in other organizations within the scheme. But it sets them up for for the world and for the higher ranks within the Freemason system.
Like basically laying the foundation.
I was going
of
to
what is
say,
to come.
exactly. It's the foundation. So, and there's obviously the Club 33 within Disney World. And if you look, I mean, there's a lot of symbolism. You won't really get access to a lot of this information. But Club 33 and the checkered floor, the black and the white, I mean, this is all Freemason symbolism. Yeah. And 33, I mean, they attribute the 33 to the street name. You know, it's not. If you read about it. And if you look at the stars there, those are the 4 stars overlapping the other 4 stars. So it's the 8-pointed star. And we covered this in Germany, actually. This and What's a Prof also covered it. But it's this is the sign of Anu. Sign of Anu is basically, in short, we're not going to go through this, is basically the mark of Cain that has been brought since the day where God placed a mark on Cain, and it's permeated throughout this whole world. And you can see it in all of the mythologies out there, Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology and all of that. But that is clearly the sign of Anu, and that's interesting. But who is Walt Disney really? You know, we can clearly see in a lot of their productions, there's a lot of symbolism, and we can just show them a short video just to point out a few places where that symbolism is quite clear.
Would you like me to show them how the sign of the curse works?
The sign of the
completely
curse?
different.
How does it go?
This is the sign of the horns. A curse sign, the 2 fingers extended. This way, spread apart for sort of shotgun blast, you know?
So that's the sign of the horn, and then what happens? Is that it?
Well, there are other ones, too.
Yeah, what are the other ones?
The other ones, one of them's the pox sign. That's 3 fingers extended.
A pox on you?
A pox sign.
So many people think that Disney is safe for children to watch, but there's so much hidden meaning in all of these movies. And you think about it as something you went through nostalgically. You think about Aladdin, in my case, it was such a great movie, but you don't remember all of the magic that was in that movie.
Yeah.
So now you want to expose your children to that because it's something you enjoyed and you felt there was nothing wrong with it. But if you watch it as an adult, you see some things sometimes that you didn't notice when you were younger.
I think they hide all of this magic and all of these symbols, obviously, that adults won't even see. They hide it with certain emotions that they bring in. You know, within Aladdin, there were emotions, and as a kid, you would be like, oh no, you know, and all of that. For the genie, and the genie, I mean, that's attributed to genii, and there's a lot of connotations to that, but that's the good one in the story. But I mean, Freemasons and the Jesuits, they are required, and we know this, they are required to make their intentions public. And that's what they do, and they mock us. They're making all of this public, and you can see all of it, but you still, I mean, you have eye shutters on, and you can't see what's actually happening. Now, this is just a very simple video, just to show. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there and things that you can go and research, but it's clear. I mean, when you look at the symbolism, you can't tell me every time they made the sign, you know, the goat sign, that was just coincidental, whatever, you know. And when you look at all these signs, these are all Freemason, high Freemason signs out there. Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it's an animation. So it's not someone acting it out where they could speak and accidentally do a sign, and then people would clip it, and then they say, look, that person is doing the sign.
No.
That was drawings that were incorporated. That was planning that went into it. Every movement was part of a plan as to this is how it needs to fit into this movie.
Yeah. And there were things that we didn't show, things that were really revealing, you know, and we obviously cut it out of this, and there are others as well. And that it's terrible. And it's a little bit of linguistic programming for the kids as well. Yeah. They see it. And this is psychology. I don't know much about it, but you can see it. Your mind sees it while you don't see it. Your eyes don't see it. Yeah. But you actually are programmed and controlled by a lot of these things. And then, I mean, if Walt Disney, and you can see Walt Disney as a Freemason himself, there's an order, there's a motivation, there's a rank, there's a goal for these people in Freemasonry. And no, it's not to do good on earth and all of that, as they say. It's the opposite. They always switch everything around. But if they are involved, and you'll see Nintendo, Walt Disney, you know, PlayStation, all of these, they all connected, and they broadcast their media, their movies and their games, whatever, on each other's platforms. What does that tell you? If there's one bad link, there is going to be a problem. But unfortunately, all of them are, from what I've seen.
Yeah. And we want to stand there and say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect us. We can go through it. We can watch these things. We can play these movies. But the devil created this so perfectly that is how we can respond. We can respond, it doesn't affect us. And that's what the devil wants, because he wants us to enjoy these things.
Don't underestimate Satan's plans and his actions. You know, when the sons of Seth went onto the daughters of man, what happened there? There was also entertainment in another form, and they wandered away from truth. And they wandered away from foundation. And we think, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to go play. I'm just going to move away, you know, Eve from Adam. I'm just going to move away from Adam just slightly, and nothing will happen. Bam. That's where he catches you. Your weak points. And we can't afford that.
Yeah. He gets you where you think he won't be able to get you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the founder of Demolay. Just to take it a step further, Frank Sherman, father, if I can paraphrase, you know, Fatherland, June 21, 1819, November 8, 1959, was the founder of the Order of Demolay. He became a member of the Ivanhoe Lodge, number 446, on June 29, 912 in Kansas City. His position was as secretary of the Social Service Bureau of the Scottish Rite Bodies. It's another link within this Masonic system. And he obviously created the Demolay. He designed it himself. And these were interesting to see, is that you have the the cross on the left, and you have the Maltese cross on the right. And M usually stands for Mason. I know it's Dem or Lay or whatever. You have the female deity, the moon, all of those symbols are there. But the main thing is the crosses. Why are they using these crosses? And if you look at and we'll see this now, the Knights of Malta and the Knights Templars that are very high-ranking Freemason in the system, they had different responsibilities. You had your Templars who were mostly, and you can read about it, they became highly efficient in the financing sectors. So they in essence control banking systems today, whereas the Knights of Malta were more involved in the corporations and the medical sectors. I mean, look at this. You've got your ambulances with a Maltese cross on there. Is that coincidence? You have Queensland Ambulance Service with a Maltese cross within a Maltese cross, and St. John here for good. St. John Ambulance Services and Medical Services. So, I mean, this is where it started. It's St. John's Ambulance Association with the Maltese cross on there. And just quickly, I'll just read here. Members of the British Order wanted to find a way to help injuries and accidents and things like that. They decided to train ordinary people in first aids so accident victims could be treated quickly and on the spot. And in 1877, they set up St. John Ambulance to do this. It's a foot in the door in the medical sector.
Yeah.
And where they can control and all of that. So you have St. John. Why do we have St. John? Why are they so prominent? St. John, it actually refers to John the Baptist. St. John, and you have St. Paul. Those are very prominent names and saints within the Catholic system, but they were both beheaded, if you think about it. So in essence, it's actually the power of Satan over Jesus's followers. And that's very interesting. Very interesting. They couldn't get Jesus, so they had to go after his followers.
So yes, if you look at the pharmaceutical companies, that revenue, all of that money, billions that's being made, who needs to suffer for them to make that money?
And keep on suffering. And man, what a link you made, because gaming is an addiction. And what is a pharmaceutical? They cause addiction. That's what it is. To sleeping pills, to microdols, to all these, and we're not going down this path, but it is such an interesting link. And that is what this order is all about in hindsight. It's not brotherhood and care for your families and care for the people in this world. It is not.
That's only the disguise. We're doing it to make this world better, to take care of people.
For
And
who?
For who?
The common good.
The common good.
So just looking at that little star again, just to give it a little bit more prominence.
That sign of Anu.
The sign of Anu. Yes, on the Club 33 logo. So here you have the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Jack Warner, remember we spoke about the Warner brothers. He belonged to the Indiana Supreme Council, and he's a 33-degree Mason. So you're starting to see the links. And I think my dad took this photo.
Yeah, and I think this is a slide from What's Up Prof.
It is a slide from What's Up Prof as well. So when you go inside, just to show you that sign of Anu, there it is. Sign of Anu is worn by, above you'll see Shamash, the sun god, and Marduk. Wow, there's the sign of Anu. And where else do we see the sign of Anu in our world?
Well, it's the biggest one in the world.
It's the biggest one in the world. There it is. And I'm sure What's a Prof has covered this, but I just want to reiterate. There's the sign of Anu and the obelisk in the middle. Yeah, so who is controlling this world? The sign of Anu is the rulership over evil. So who is controlling the world? And it's right here at the Vatican. Yeah. Okay. And the Senate, just to add to that, and the military leaders and all of them, they're all subject to Rome. we're not going to get into this big discussion. I just want to summarize, and the royalty in the British royalty, all of them are also subject to Rome, all of them. So we'll get there now. Okay, so we move on. We had Nintendo, then obviously in 2000, we had Sony introduced online multiplayer to the PlayStation, and then we have Microsoft. That's interesting. In 2001, just after 2000, in competition, releasing the Xbox.
So you have followers for Sony PlayStation, you have followers for Xbox. Some people prefer Xbox over PlayStation. It doesn't matter because they give you what you want.
Yeah.
They want to sell their product, they want you to use it. So they do two separate things, but for the same goal.
For the same goal, exactly the same goal. And they all include, they all work together. And it's difficult to find information about these people. But if you look at Sony, it's difficult. The Japanese information research is very tough to find. But there's one thing that was prominent and stood out for me is Akio Morita, the CEO of Sony, was awarded the Albert Medal. So all these awards, medal, the United Kingdom's Royal Society of Arts, these are all Freemason awards. In 1982, the first Japanese to receive the honor. I mean, wow, isn't that an honor for a Sony, for someone who just quickly developed a CEO of a company? 2 years later, he received the prestigious Legion of Honor. And in 1991, the first class order of the Sacred Treasure from the Emperor of Japan. It's magnificent. And right at the bottom, you'll see something interesting. In 1993, that same year, he was awarded an honorary British knighthood, KBE. KBE stands for Knight Commander of the British Empire. So he had to be knighted. That's it. He had to be knighted by the Queen. She's subject to Rome, as we know. So he was knighted. Everyone who's knighted, they had to perform a specific task in the world with what they have brought into the world, what they have developed or what they have created. And here this guy is knighted. And you'll see Legion of Honor is also was also established by Napoleon in 1802, which is really interesting for me as well. And then it says, in April 2021, the Walt Disney Company, okay, here he is again, and Sony Pictures Entertainment today announced a multi-year content, that's 4 years ago, a multi-year content licensing agreement for US streaming and TV rights to Sony Pictures' new theatrical releases across Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution's vast portfolio of platforms, including its streaming services, Disney Plus and Hulu, as well as linear entertainment. There's so many. Imagine where it's been spread, the collaboration between these two companies.
But
why they're coming back in there, Walt Disney.
And the sad thing is, so many people out there would say, but this doesn't mean anything. It doesn't show anything. You have a link between the two companies. It's for revenue gains. It doesn't mean anything. There's no association with evil. But if you understand what's going on in this world, they're working towards the same goal, and that is to destroy your soul.
It is. And you won't be knighted by the Queen if you're just creating revenue. There has to be a purpose. There has to be this whole system, the royalty, the Freemason system, the whole York Rite, Scottish Rite. They all have one goal in mind. Different tiers, different responsibilities as a tier, I guess, but the same goal, same common goal.
People lower in the order might not know what the goal is, and they think that they're busy doing good until they reach that level where they can't get out anymore, where they've seen too much, where they heard too much, and then they're stuck.
Scary.
And then they just go on with it. Otherwise, they could lose their life.
That's true. I always look back when I always talk about my journey with God, and I go, when I look back, I can see what he's done in my life, but you can't always see it while he's leading you. And that's how it almost feels with this. You're an ignorant little demolay or whatever, sort of, and then you grow up the ranks, and then you look back and you see how Satan has been leading you. Wow, that's a bit of a toughie. Yeah, so, I mean, this is not very clear, I understand, but you'll see at the bottom right there, the order of Demolay. You see, that's where it starts. Look next to it. You have the rainbow girls. So you have both genders here. We're not discriminating, blah, 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 you know. Mm-hmm. And then you have all these steps. On your left, you have the Scottish rites. And that's more your philosophical and esoteric, delving deeper in symbolism and intellectual concepts. That's what the Scottish rite is. A lot more steps there. But on your York rite, which is more in terms of your theological, rooted in biblical narratives and medieval chivalry and things like that, that's why you have your chivalry, your knights on this side, your Order of Knights of Malta. And right at the top, you have what? You have the Order of Knights Templar. The bankers. Oh, man.
Well, I even remember playing Assassin's Creed where you played an assassin fighting against the Knights Templar.
Wow.
Where they actually want to do a few things and you had to go and assassinate the Pope at one stage.
Really?
So it was quite interesting playing it from this different angle and explaining to the world there's this alien thing and you're fighting for a golden apple. Very interesting.
That is very interesting.
But
I remember the game. Yeah.
And it's also such a big franchise.
It is massive. Yeah. And as we know, the esoteric world is really interesting. It's flipped.
Yeah.
Around. So what is good is evil and evil is good. If they're waiting for the space war, the aliens are coming to take over the world. They're coming to destroy us and stop us and destroy this world. Who is coming to destroy this world? Jesus Christ is coming to destroy this world. So
and to set up a new kingdom.
To set up a new kingdom. And they can't allow that. They cannot allow that. And that's why they turn around. God in Morals and Dogma and Blavatsky and Alice A. Bailey is actually Lucifer, the light bearer, the
wronged one.
Thank you. The wronged one.
So this is just a picture. So to read what it says on the pyramid a bit better. So if the viewers wants to read it, they can just pause here and have a look at different levels.
And you can actually, it's clearer to read, And these are all the levels. And it's interesting when you look at all these symbolism there, hey? You can just go through it and there's the set square and all of those, the lower levels. And then you have the 7 candlesticks there. Is that the guardians of the Solomon Temple? Hey? You know, those type of things. And the Order of the Red Cross. Oh, is there a Red Cross hospital? I'm just saying, it's all there. And the Maltese, you see the Maltese crosses next to the Order of Knights. I like this depiction. This is actually nice.
It's in plain sight. If you go out in the world and you start looking for these things, you realize there's a lot more connections in this world with the Freemasonry, with the evil side. And you don't realize it.
No.
You're not exposed to it, so you don't realize it. So for you, it's just carrying on as normal.
It's actually not scary to understand this. A lot of people say, I don't even want to know about this. And that's okay. Really it is. But it actually enlightens you. You know, you understand it better and you understand this war against Christ better. Cool. So just to show again, we have Sony and we have Walt Disney and we have all these players and we have Microsoft. He's the founder of one of the co-founders of Microsoft. And it says Microsoft founder Bill Gates received an honorary knighthood Wednesday from Queen Elizabeth, an accolade that allows the recipient to use KBE, the same as Hiroshi, KBE after his name, but not to put Sir in front of it. You're not a Sir. You're a KB, you're a commander of the British Empire. You are part of us now. You've done enough damage to God's people. You may be part of us now. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, different orders of knighthood. Not a knight so you can be called a Sir, but you still have a title that can be placed after your name.
Yeah.
And if you look at Bill Gates, he's doing so much in the world. He's so rich. He's such a big philanthropist. He gives so much money to people in Africa. He's got his fingers in the medical world as well.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
developing injections for people. So he's doing a lot, like you said.
He's a Knights of Malta. He has to be. He's in the medical world. He a philanthropist. I think that's one of the. I know that's one of the orders of the day with Freemasonry. There has to be a front. There has to be an illusion. I would almost say, yes, they do give money and all of that, but trust me, they take it back in so many ways.
And people don't see the additional side to this. They only see the good that they're doing. They only see the disguise.
Yeah.
But if you look behind the disguise, you are shocked as to what's going on.
Yeah. And if you look a little bit deeper and you just go look at who's his dad, William Henry Gates, his father was a recipient of the Distinguished Eagle Scout Award. That's the Boy Scouts. You know, who created Boy Scouts or who founded it? William D. Boyce founded Boy Scouts in 1910. He was a Freemason and a Shriner. It's also on that pyramid. It was so... I'm not going to go much deeper into that. There's a lot of things, a lot of questions that's going to come from this. But yeah, the Boy Scouts, it's another club. It's another organization. They were founded by a Freemason. And Paul Jeffers also, and I didn't read the book, but I did see that Paul Jeffers in his book called The Freemasons in America, he also mentions Bill Gates in his book. So it's clear for me. Yeah.
Well, one doesn't become one of the richest people in the world without these connections.
No.
Without being a part of different societies.
Yes.
Yeah.
We even showed in our music episode about Katy Perry, where she couldn't make it in the world until she sold her soul, as I mentioned. Oh, a very vague photo, but this is the only one we could find. But I mean, he was friends and he had a lot of connections. And he didn't have a lot to say, but yeah, he was not involved. He was good friends with Epstein, and we know about Epstein. We don't have to go into that. But it just shows where the connections are, and they always see this as conspiracy theory and all of that. He was also in an interview, Bill Gates, where they asked about his connection with Epstein, and it was so weird. They labeled it as one of the weirdest interviews. He just said, well, he's dead. Why are we talking about him? You know, like... Let's stay away from that topic completely. So no. There's a lot of interesting things about Bill Gates. And when you look at one of the inspiring books, because he calls himself a gamer as well, by the way, because he said you can't label a gamer as playing 15 hours a day or 1 hour. It's the same thing. You're a gamer. He said you can call himself a gamer. And there wasn't one of the inspiring books that he read is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And it's just interesting. I'm not going to put words in the book and the author, but it says, what is a game, Mark says? It's tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It's the possibility of infinite rebirth, infinite redemption. That's now the gaming market. The idea that if you keep playing, you could win. No loss is permanent because nothing is permanent ever. Yeah. So it just... my opinion is it looks like it's moving towards reincarnation. You know, you can always better yourself. So, you know, more New Age.
There's always a checkpoint where you can start off over again. There's no level that's too hard to pass.
Yeah.
You can always, like they said, get better.
Sometimes when I do something wrong or I did something foolish or whatever, I just want to Control Z. And I can't do it. This is real life. This is real life. God is returning. You know, Jesus Christ is coming back, and we only have this one life to prove that we love him. Yeah.
So if we jump to the great controversy, we can read the following. When appearing as members of their order, they wore a garb of sanctity, visiting prisons and hospitals, ministering to the sick and the poor, professing to have renounced the world and bearing a sacred name of Jesus, who went about doing good. But under this blameless exterior, the most criminal and deadly purposes were often concealed. It was a fundamental principle of the order that the end justifies the means. By this code, lying, theft, perjury, assassinations were not only pardonable, but commendable when they served the interest of the church. Under various disguises, the Jesuits worked their way into offices of state, climbing up to the counselors of kings and shaping the policy of nations. They became servants to act as spies upon their masters. They established colleges for the sons of princes and nobles, and schools for the common people. And the children of Protestant parents were drawn into an observance of popish rites. So, like you mentioned earlier, the Jesuits were created to completely destroy the Protestants. And this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're doing it in this guise of visiting prisons, hospitals, ministering to the sick and the poor. But they have an end that they need to work towards.
Oh, yes. Justifies the means.
Yeah.
It is, it's all here. You know, they work their way into offices, into corporations like the Maltas and the Templars, the banking system. I read about Jacob Schiff once in the very early 1900s. He was tasked to go out and take over the banking systems in America. And our viewers can go and check it out. But that was interesting. So whatever they do is for the common good, for the church. It's the church that they are serving. And this is the Catholic Church that we're referring to. And the Catholic Church hates Protestantism. So
True Protestantism. That's clinging to the Bible and not to traditions.
Oh, yes, exactly. And unfortunately, the Reformation failed because they still clung to traditions back then, unfortunately. But this time round, we are so close to the end, we can't afford to move away or recant or do anything deviating from this beautiful book.
There's only one remnant left that's saying, we don't want tradition. We want sola scriptura.
Yes.
We want the Bible and the Bible alone.
Yes. Commandments and the faith of Jesus, commandments and the testimony of Jesus.
Yeah. And it's so difficult to find. You actually don't find anything where people say Jesuits are involved in the gaming industry. But there's one website that boasts about it, and that is the Chicago Catholic. And this talks about a game designer who turned Jesuit and ended up writing about space religion in a game.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So the article starts out by talking about this guy's life, and he says how he was angry, and as he was driving in traffic, he got something happened, and he kind of exploded. And he thought, but this isn't how he should be. This isn't how he should live. He needs to live a better life. And that brought him onto a spiritual quest.
Nice.
Yep. And this is where it starts then. It says, that experience also sent Liesegang, sounds a bit German, on a spiritual quest, which would eventually lead him to leave his work as a designer for games like Fallout and Skyrim, some of the genre's most popular role-playing games, and join the Jesuits, the same religion order as Pope Francis. Then, just when Liesegang thought he was done with video games, he got a call from an old boss asking him to write the core text for a space religion to be featured in Starfield, what would become a blockbuster video game. So he went to Electronic Arts, where he worked with people designing Madden, NFL, and other popular games, and later went to Bethesda, maker of Fallout, Skyrim, and Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
So over here, it explains a bit about Starfield, what the game is like, what you're doing, and you collect artifacts that grant them mystical experiences and superpowers.
It's the same thing again.
Yeah.
Look, galactic snake cultists. I mean, these are all interesting mysticism and and witchery and all of that.
Yeah, games that's way out there. So it then goes on that players have the option to join a religion in the game, including the Sanctum Universum, the one that he wrote the script for, which teaches that God can be experienced out among the stars. The faith texts, which players can find scattered throughout the universe, are more about philosophy and a search for transcendence than theology, said Lisa Gang, though there are hints of Catholicism in it. He did have to run his work at Starfield by his Jesuit superior. It's interesting.
Wow.
But Lisa Gang said that as long as he was writing fiction and not really trying to start a new religion, he was on pretty solid ground.
Because anything goes.
Yeah.
Hey? He says there was a bit of Catholicism in there. So, because that's the Jesuit order. There's a bit of that, but the rest can go as well, actually. Because everything goes with Catholicism.
Yes.
It has always been. As long as you work towards the common good, you're fine.
As long as you give money to the church, everything is good. If you pay your indulgences. So his work on Starfield has led to questions about whether writing games could be part of his future ministry. Jesuits have a long history of working in the arts and as writers. Acclaimed playwright Bill Kane, who also wrote for the now defunct television series House of Cards, is a Jesuit priest. People are watching things written by people who want to destroy Protestantism. And now it's in games as well. Well, I think it's been in games a lot earlier, but this is the first prominent one that you read about.
And I mean, working in the arts, I mean, those were all the awards we saw before. In science and arts. That's where they are.
Exactly. Jesuits have also excelled at astronomy, education, and other pursuits, said Jesuit Father Tom Rees. It continues, Rees said Jesuits work closely with their superiors to find the right match for their ministry. There has to be a value add that comes from the Jesuit participation.
There it is. Hey?
So the Jesuit has to give something of value for their cause in what
their
they're busy
foundational value.
Yep.
Yeah, that they see as value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irrespective of how they get there, they just want to destroy Protestantism.
Yeah. There we have it.
And it's such a nice name, Society of Jesus. You'd think that it has to do with Jesus, but it's the opposite.
Blasphemy. Hey? Putting Jesus in there when it's not.
Yeah.
And just for interest's sake, I'm being facetious a little bit here, but House of Cards received high positive reviews and numerous award nominations. How many primetime Emmy Awards do you think they got? Nominations.
I don't know.
33.
It's a lot more than I would have guessed.
33. It's also a nice number.
Interesting number.
They use that number a lot. But anyway.
And something that was written by a Jesuit priest. So
yeah.
people enjoying Jesuit theater.
Oh, yes. And I mean, we both of us enjoyed it ourselves. We didn't know. Yeah.
And it's a struggle. It's a struggle not to be drawn into it. Because when you get back from church, and that night, it feels like, I want to do something that's less spiritual. I just want to relax. I don't want to focus on something. So let's turn on Jesuit theater.
And sometimes that's me. Not looking at Jesuit theater, but feeling that way. After an evangelistic campaign or whatever, you come back and you've been filled by the Spirit. It's been really great. Really, I'm not going to lie. It's amazing working for the Lord. And then you come back and hey, I just want to do something else. I just want to deviate a little bit from what I've been doing for a week now. And that's where there's a danger. You don't have to go and read your Bible constantly now after that week, but do something that's wholesome.
Yeah.
Do something that is different if you have to, but do something else with your family or whatever.
Yeah. Working in the garden, going out into nature, that's all very good recreational things to do.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to just sit on the couch and put the TV on because it doesn't require any effort from your part.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we look at Jesus' ministry and how he ministered to others. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how dark are these games in the world? Not all of them, but how much darkness is found in it?
Yeah. If there's not darkness, I mean, if you look at Pac-Man we're not going to talk about, but I mean, there's other connotations to Pac-Man. But besides the point, I mean, a lot of that just consumes your time or it it causes addiction, or it causes anger, or whatever the case may be. But like you said, if you look at these games, these top games in the market, World of Warcraft, I mean, this is a very prominent game. I played it once or twice, but I didn't enjoy those types of games. But anyway, Tides of Darkness. Okay, why is there always a darkness element attached to everything? Oh, but you're killing the dark. No, it's not. It's not. Diablo is not about killing a demon and you're a good person. Go look at the symbolism. Go look at the covers like these. I don't want to see this. Does your 10-year-old kid want to see this? No, it's already destroyed. Just the picture destroys your mind. So, but you know what's interesting? Tides of Darkness. Again, it's just my thinking. But there's a dragon. He's sitting on the water. Hey? He's sitting on the nations. The dragon sitting on the nations, like the beast power, sitting on top of the nations. And reign of chaos. Come on, give me something nice. Flower bed or something, There's nothing. It's always going to be something that attracts you to darkness, like you said earlier.
And what does this picture do with the perfect creation of God?
Yeah.
So they want something that looks absolutely horrible in this world.
Yeah.
They're not satisfied with how perfectly God created this world.
Yeah.
They want other things that's deformed and looks like...
I'm not a psychologist. I can't tell you why that stimulates people in general, even me before. This is like, oh yeah, I want to play that game.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just does.
Well, the devil's sitting on your shoulder and say, hey, give it a try.
Yeah. This is something you don't see in the world. That's maybe why. You don't see these orcs running around with teeth. It's something else.
It's fictional.
It's fictional.
If you go into the fictional realm, it doesn't apply to anything anymore. Just enjoy it.
That's also a good point that you make there. And you can enjoy that it's something else. It's like almost like you said earlier, like you just want to do something else. And this is an escapism.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. It just gets worse. I mean, that's for sure. That is Baphomet. That is a goat on the left there. We're not here to analyze symbolism, but it's so prominent. Eh? And I don't know what else we can find there, but that is insane.
Well, if you look at this ring over here, it almost looks like a summon ring with ancient writings around it.
That's exactly what it is. And if you go back to if you look at the steps, the ladder, the Freemason ladder, you'll see it there as well. There's something that looks very similar to that. The war within. From all of them, the wrath of the Lich King and the whatever. This one was almost the scariest. The war within, just a picture with the light, and it's breaking through the cracks. It wants to come out, but there's a war within. There's darkness within, which isn't 100% wrong. There is a war within, but it's just the choice of words and their titles that really bugs me.
And there's a lot of brainstorming going into this to get the exact title to draw in players.
Yeah. I've always wondered about that. It's so good. This is a team of creative geniuses sitting around a table.
Or maybe it comes to them in their sleep, like songs in the music industry.
Like the other guy, Max Martin. Eh? Yeah.
So who are the creators of these games? These games specifically?
Blizzard. Yeah, so they're the creator of many games, including Diablo, StarCraft that I used to love, and Warcraft. Yeah, Blizzard. And who are they? Activision, Blizzard, I think they combined, later on.
Activision Blizzard also has Call of Duty. And that's also very interesting because if you take the amount of time spent in Call of Duty, it adds up to 68,000 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of time.
Years. We may see that, or we will see that in heaven one day, but that is a lot of time spent in the game. Yeah, and why are all Blizzards, I mean, is Blizzard just an amazing genius company? Why are all their games on the top list? It takes me back to Max Martin again, where all his songs were on top of the list, in the top 100 or whatever.
Sang by so many different artists, but it's one person behind it.
It's one person. And I mean, Activision joined with Blizzard, and it still was a multi-billion-dollar company. But anyway, it also in 2018 it says Activision Blizzard signed a multi-year deal with guess who?
Well, I'm thinking someone who has all their fingers in the pies when it comes to children and people.
Yes, the creator of those cute little animations, Mickey Mouse and the Smurfs and all of those.
Well, none other than Walt Disney.
Walt Disney again. To stream Overwatch League games on both ESPN, Disney XD. They secured exclusive multi-year deal with Google. Ooh, Google's also involved. I wonder what they do. To stream... Yeah,
I wonder why certain things don't show up on your searches when you try and look for them.
Now we're becoming naughty, and that's exactly what it is. Including Call of Duty and Overwatch events through YouTube. Okay, so they're all involved. You know, they're all the channels. And if Satan can spread his evil plans in such an amazing fashion and so eloquently, I wouldn't want to say eloquently, but so vastly, how much more should God's people work towards the end goal for Christ? Eh?
Yeah, a lot of times we feel that you can't speak to someone about this topic or that topic because it might offend them. But look at what the devil is doing. He's putting out so many genres, irrespective if it's going to offend someone. He doesn't care.
No.
Because it gets his message out.
Yeah.
We need to, in all love, bring out the gospel to everyone, irrespective of how they will react to it.
So you are saying we should preach present truth. That's what you're actually saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not be afraid.
Not be afraid. Yeah. I agree. And who bought Blizzard over in 2023? Microsoft. Okay, I'm getting tired of it. You know, you can just see the links here. Yeah, and there are other things that happened in Blizzard, and a lot of people were left and were let go. There were a lot of sexual harassment claims and all these things. So that's what happens. That is the world that we live in. And when you're in that industry, you can't avoid all those issues and those bad elements.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Diablo a bit earlier, so let's have a look at how the covers of the game look.
Cute kitty cats. And when you look at these little slogans here, vessel of hatred, Lord of destruction. That is insane. And look at all these beasts. It's insane. So,
well, I remember these games. But I was never really drawn into it that much. I played it for a couple of minutes and I'm like, I don't think this is for me. And I left it. But there were other games that brought my attention or that caught my attention and I went for them. So even though this one was a bit too dark for me, there were still others that were a bit less dark, but still had darkness in it.
Yeah, you need them all, I guess. The less dark may, if you get entrenched deeper and deeper, you may end up playing these games.
Yeah.
And I mean, I see a lot of symbolism in here, but it's personal. Not personal. I mean, you can't say it for sure. But look at the crown in the middle one. You know, Diablo, the crown, and there's a very prominent M there at the bottom. But anyway, there's interesting things that I see here. But the fact remains, this is evil, and players can control one of 7 character classes. If you look at Barbarian, Crusaders, Catholic, the Catholic Crusaders, Demon Hunters, Monk, Necromancer, Witch Doctor, and Wizard. So a Witch Doctor and a Wizard can fight against Lilith or Diablo, or whatever, to save the planet. Or it doesn't make sense to me.
So someone who's getting their power from the devil can fight against the devil. That's basically what they're saying over here.
That's a mess. This is not, they try to portray, and that's what they do in the Christian heavy metal bands as well. It also looks like this, but they say, no, it's a Christian band. We're just talking about the evil. But yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about the mindset of this game. Someone getting their power from the devil can use that power to defeat the devil. What does the devil think he will accomplish when Jesus comes back? He thinks that he will destroy his creator.
Yeah.
So that's basically the same concept that's being portrayed in this game.
Exactly. Spot on. It's a esoteric agenda once again, turning it on its side. They won't say specifically, they won't show Jesus on the cross or whatever here because it's too blatant. Then someone will wake up out of their slumber and go, okay, this is too much. They have to hide it in secret agenda. Yeah. And this is interesting because this is Wikipedia. Diablo 4 received generally positive reviews from critics who praised the game's narrative and atmosphere. The game generated $666 million revenue within the first 6 days after launch.
Well, that's a very interesting number.
It is. I mean, it's Wikipedia. It's not a joke. I don't think it's tongue-in-cheek. I don't think it's a joke. It's actual numbers here. 666 million in revenue. It's interesting. Anyway, so let's look at the trailer of this beautiful...
And before we show the trailer, I think we should just put in a disclaimer over here because it is quite dark. So
it is dark.
I wouldn't recommend young kids watching this specific part of the presentation.
Yeah, I'm an adult, and when I watched this, I was like looking around in the room. It doesn't feel good to watch this. And when you know from what we've said about the esoteric agenda turning the evil good, good evil, then this becomes a bit more scary. So, yeah, disclaimer. Thank you.
Yeah.
We beg you.
Will you save us?
Will you make him suffer?
Can your shadow be our light?
Hurry.
A war between angels and demons. And Lilith serves neither side.
My children, the lords of hell are coming to devour our world.
Hell is coming. Hell is coming.
I have not come to save, but to empower. I will give you freedom and more. Today we fight true in his holy name.
The time of prophecy has come, knights. We march on hell.
Your lives and those of all humanity depend on what you do next. If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.
Well, that is quite horrible.
It is horrible.
It is very dark, and I can't believe that people go so far from the light that they find this entertaining. And if you look at it, they summoned dead people. They use spells. There's a serpent, a fiery serpent fighting.
And that's from the good side, eh?
From the good side.
Is using a serpent to fight. So it's fighting evil with evil. They're messing with our minds here. Where that demon or Lilith or whatever that creature was in the church and that man fell back, where she said, the lords of hell are coming to devour our world. I'm sorry, that scared me because that is the lords of hell destroying our world. Who's going to come destroy our world? We said this earlier. Jesus is. So the lords of hell, they're basically referring to, and I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. The time prophecy has come, knights. That's weird. Using knights there as well. And who are these people afraid of? Who are they afraid of? These high-end people in our world. They're afraid of the true victor. That's what. Yeah. So this is it's very demonic. Yeah. It's insane. Okay. So we're getting closer to the end, but Epic Games. Which games fall under Epic Games?
One of the most popular games now, Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah. So again, I mean, this is becoming a trend, and I know it's a stuck record, but this is important that we know. Our exciting new relationship with Epic Games will bring together Disney's beloved brands and franchises. I like the choice of words, but anyway. And franchises with a hugely popular Fortnite in a transformational new games and entertainment universe, said Robert R. Iger, Chief Executive Officer of Walt Disney Company. This marks Disney's biggest entry ever into the world of games and offers significant opportunities for growth and expansion. We can't wait for fans to experience the Disney stories and worlds they love in the groundbreaking new ways. I don't know if you understand what's going on here. You know, just the way they write things gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Disney was one of the first companies to believe in the potential of bringing their worlds together with ours in Fortnite, and they use Unreal Engine across their portfolio, said Tim Sweeney, CEO and founder of Epic Games. Now we're collaborating on something entirely new to build a persistent, open and interoperable ecosystem that will bring together the Disney and Fortnite communities. Bring them together. That which has not destroyed the community of Fortnite will now be destroyed by the sickness of Disney and vice versa.
Yeah.
Bring them together, blend them. It's like blending error with truth with error.
Yeah. Working towards the one goal.
Yeah.
We need to get all of these different corporations working together to achieve a final goal.
Oh, yeah. That they're going to lose.
Yeah. And here we have another video, and this video is about Fortnite. But we forgot to put in a disclaimer in the beginning. Because of all the videos that we are showing, there might be some copyrights on it. And because of that, they can automatically put ads in our videos. So if you see ads in the video, it's not monetized. It's just because there was a copyright claim.
You may or may not be familiar with this, but your kids probably are. It's a video game drawing a lot of players.
Yeah, we're talking about the millions battling it out in the game called Fortnite. News 8's Jocelyn Mamenta with more on who's playing this game and its addictive impact.
Jump at him.
This action-packed survival of the fittest.
Oh, no, it's 2v2.
Engaging video game.
Is it shot quick?
Is scoring big with fans worldwide.
The latest count is that 45 million people are playing Fortnite, which is greater than the entire population of Canada.
Kids are gamers too.
She's obsessed with the game.
Christine Landino is frustrated with her daughter obsessed with the free and addictive pastime.
While she's playing, her and her friends get so involved in the game and caught up that if they lose or they don't have enough V-Bucks to spend, it becomes a fighting match and she gets a little loud.
It's for ages 13 and older. Her daughter is 10.
All her 10-year-old friends play it, and even younger.
It has a lot of violence in it. It's somewhat cartoon violence, but there are, significant negative mental health effects that can occur with excessive violent gameplay, like increased aggression.
It's shocking how people are influenced by a game.
Yeah.
And how parents are letting their young players who's not even at that age yet take part in this.
Yeah. I don't think they know how to control them. They haven't been educated by, God. Yeah. I'm sorry to say, I'm not being rude. I'm just saying there is a certain education for our kids that we need to follow. And if we don't, then they are going to push back, and we won't be able to control them anymore. Yeah. And at 10 years old, most people I know, their kids won't have a phone yet. And they won't be able to play these games. Yes, my son, when he was younger and I wanted to get him started or whatever, I did once give him Fruit Farm. It was like a little fruit game. But if I think about it now, it's way more productive to just create a little garden for him in our garden, and he can grow his own fruit, Yeah. So, yeah, to this extent, at 10 years old, you're still developing. Your brain and your mind is still developing, and you're playing Fortnite 10 hours a day. Oh. Yeah.
And let's look at the last company, Valve. There's still a lot of other companies, but this one was also quite interesting to see.
Isn't Valve Counter-Strike?
Yes.
Yeah.
They created Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
And the person who created Valve was someone who left Microsoft. There were two people who left Microsoft and founded this company.
Ah, that's where they got their source from, their foundation. Okay.
Esports has plenty of heroes, but it has very few gods.
It takes a lot to become a god.
One of Japan's 5 fighting game gods.
Some gods arrive from far away.
He's the god.
The op god.
They were simply referred to as gods.
For is the god of Dota.
Okay, so that might have been a stretch, but what isn't is how one man became a meme and, transcending it, became an object of adoration. An answerer to prayers everywhere. I'm talking about our Lord, Gaben. Gabe Newell is the co-founder and CEO of Valve, the developer and publisher behind renowned games like Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, and Left 4 Dead.
Man, so this reminds me of, I don't know if you remember in our music episode when Simon Cowell spoke about Max Martin. Hey?
Yes.
What did he say again?
That no one human can do something like what he has done in the music industry. And Justin Timberlake also said to Max Martin, take us to the promised land. But to which promised land are they talking about?
I remember that, yes. So they're alluding to him as a god as well, basically, as a lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So
all industries.
Now you have a person here that is seen as a god.
As a god in gaming. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And
So,
what are his thoughts, this person on this gaming sector?
A lot of our product design discussions sound like science fiction. As soon as you're doing anything with neuroscience, you're like, it's indistinguishable from science fiction now. Our ability to create experience in people's brains that are not mediated through their meat peripherals will actually be better than is possible. So you're used to experiencing the world through eyes, but eyes were created by this low-cost bidder who didn't care about failure rates and RMAs, and if it got broken, there was no way to repair anything effectively. So, it's totally makes sense from an evolutionary perspective, but is not at all, reflective of consumer preferences. So the visual experience, the visual fidelity will be able to create through, the real world will stop being the metric that we apply to the best possible visual fidelity, and instead it's the real world will seem flat, colorless, blurry compared to the experiences that you'll be able to create in people's brains. It's like the Matrix said, and we'll create something that's like reality. And I think with BCIs, fairly quickly we'll be able to create experiences that are superior to what. But that's not where it gets weird. Where it gets weird is when who you are becomes editable through a BCI, right? So I'm feeling unmotivated today. Right now we think that that's this fundamental personality characteristic that is relatively intractable to change. And instead it'd be I'm going to just turn up my focus right now. My mood should be this. With BCI and with what's coming in terms of neuroscience, the experiences that you have will now be things that are created and edited for you. One of the early applications I expect we'll see is improved sleep, right? It's sleep will now become an app that you run where you're going to I need this much sleep, I need this much REM, but it's now, rather than, I'll fluff my pillows this way and I'll take, Zolpidem to try to get myself to go to sleep. It's I just say, this is how I want to sleep right now. That sounds pretty nice. I got on this 12-hour plane and I basically said, I did not want to be awake for the next 12 hours, and I wake up completely refreshed with my circadian rhythm.
This is also quite shocking because he's into the same research as Elon Musk, working on a Neuralink from Elon Musk's side, and he's saying he wants to incorporate that in gaming. And he wants the world to look dull in comparison. He wants you to spend time in this new way of gaming rather than experiencing the world.
The real life. It's virtual. It's pulling you out of reality. Satan, how close are we to the end? because
So
Satan,
close.
Satan wants to create. He wants to be the creator. So he uses AI. We know this, the Neuralink and all the robotic systems. He is creating his empire. Well, he has been creating it for a long time. And you can have better visuals within the gaming, within this gaming sector than what we are unevolved, stupid beings. Hey, isn't that almost what he was saying?
Well, what he said about God who created our eyes, how complex is someone's eyes? And then he says it was created by a low-cost bidder. It's absolutely horrible.
Does he have any understanding of what sin has done to us? We are still so complex and so amazingly built. What are we going to be in heaven? Do they have any idea of what heaven is? Are they looking forward to a better world? No. Don't use evolution to cover up your doubts.
Yeah, and the question is, would we want to support someone who has this view? Would we want to play the games that comes from his company, and that is his view? And looking at the brain chip that he's talking about, where your emotions will be controlled via an app. You can decide, I'm not motivated, so let's put the motivation up. Yeah, now I can do my things. I'm not happy, I'm just going to change this.
You're a robot, eh?
You're a robot.
I want to sleep 12 hours.
Can you imagine sleeping for 6 hours and something happening in the house starts burning, and you can't do anything because you're in sleep mode?
Oh, man.
Or what happens if your phone's battery dies?
Yeah.
Who's going to control you now then? Or are you going to be on the default setting if the battery dies on your phone?
You can't rely on Satan's tools.
No.
You can't rely on it. You can only rely on God. Eh? Man.
And if you remember in the first video about Gabe Newell, the guy talked about a God and a Lord. And it's kind of weird, but then you go and look on the internet, but there's actually a following. I saw there's a Facebook group that is called the Church of Gaben.
Sure.
And on Steam, you have this, the religion of Lord Gaben, Gabenism. We are a peaceful religion who worships our Lord and Savior, Gabe Newell.
He's a god.
He's a god. They have the 10 commandments of Gaben. How blasphemous do you get?
Yeah, that is very... And they're just mocking, actually, hey? But, they obviously see him as a Lord and a God, but they're also mocking God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though there's only 369 members in this group that was created in 2015, it still shows some people idolizing this guy.
Yeah.
And it continues and gets worse, where they take the Lord's Prayer and they change it into the Gaben prayer. And it's literally, if you read through this, taken from the Lord's Prayer.
I don't even want to hear it, yeah. I mean, I can see it, and it's just...
Yes.
It's just so terrible. I can't believe it.
It's blatant and it's out there. And this is what happens to gamers. When they see someone who creates something that's amazing to them or in their view of the world, they want to worship this guy because of what he has created.
If you look at real gamers, not going to, pinpoint this to every gamer out there, but from what I've seen, they have a skewed idea of life and of reality and of God and all of that, and they all think that way. Most of them are atheists. If they're constantly being bombarded by all this evil and all these stimuli, you cannot serve God. No. You cannot. I'm going to say it outright. There's not one person who is addicted and who plays games like this that has a true relationship with God.
They can be labeled as a Christian, but it's just a label.
Agreed.
They're not living out their faith as they should, according to the Bible.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to portray as to how insane this world has become, there's another video just around how far some of these creators and developers will go to create excitement and stimulate the minds of the people out there looking for excitement and craze. And this is just insane as well.
What you're seeing above me right now is the world's most dangerous VR headset, a device that is designed to kill you. And it was designed by this man. His name is Palmer Luckey. His work was inspired by a fictional VR headset called Nerve Gear. Thing is, Nerve Gear is not a real headset. It only exists in here. An anime, Sword Art Online. And here's the thing, there you could die while using the Nerve Gear headset. And so, inspired by this, Luckey decided to make it real. So he produced his own physical version, one that will actually kill you in real life if you lose. But Luckey soon became familiar with dangerous VR applications too, because he started working as a defense contractor and he became a leading authority on dangerous VR applications for the US military. His VR headsets were being used to teach soldiers to fly helicopters and train them to kill. It's no surprise he included a warning in the tweet. This might be a game, but it is not something you play, because if you die in the game, you die in real life. Luckey's VR design uses free explosive charges to blow your head off in real life if you die in the game. That is what those strange thorns sticking out of the headset are designed to do. He explains that when a game over screen is displayed, the charges fire instantly, destroying the brain of the user. And if that wasn't bad enough, he goes on further to say, I have plans for an anti-tamper mechanism that, like the Nerve Gear, will make it impossible to remove or destroy the headset. Any attempt to remove the headset will also trigger the mechanism. So once the game has started, you either win or lose your life.
It's shocking to what extremes people want to go.
Yeah.
I can't see myself wanting to play this game, but you do find people that like living on the edge.
Look at Russian roulette. You think this will never happen. I'm not saying this is happening in the world right now, but there is a device that is, and I've seen it before, not just this video, and I'm sure it could attract a lot of people and draw a lot of attention to this type of device. Like I say, Russian roulette, those who don't really care about their lives, atheistic people who just give up.
Yeah.
I mean, this might become more prominent than we think. We just wanted to portray, I mean, how ridiculous this system is becoming. Yeah, and how close we are. Yeah. Let's end off with 2 or 3 quotes and Bible verses. The desire of excitement and pleasing entertainment is a temptation and a snare to God's people, and especially to the young. Satan is constantly preparing inducements to attract minds from the solemn work of preparation for scenes just in the future. Though the agency of worldlings, he keeps up a continual excitement to induce the unwary to join in worldly pleasures. There are shows, lectures, and an endless variety of entertainments that are calculated to lead to a love of the world, and through this union with the world, faith is weakened. Satan is a persevering workman, an artful, deadly foe. Whenever an incautious word is spoken, whether in flattery or to cause the youth to look upon some sin with less abhorrence, he takes advantage of it and nourishes the evil seed, that it may take root and yield a bountiful harvest. He is in every sense of the word a deceiver, a skillful charmer. He has many finely woven nets which appear innocent, but which are skillfully prepared to entangle the youth and unwary. The natural mind leans toward pleasure and self-gratification. It is Satan's policy to fill the mind with a desire for worldly amusement, that there may be no time for the question, how is it with my soul? Whew, yeah.
It distracts you completely from what is important in life.
It is interesting that this just fits in so well here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey? How he natural mind leans towards pleasure and self-gratification. He knows this. We are sinful beings. We have a propensity to sin. He just needs to provide that entertainment, and we just need to lose our connection with God, and He's got us. Yeah.
Selected Messages says, there is now need of earnest working men and women who will seek for the salvation of souls. For Satan, as a powerful general, has taken the field. And in this last remnant of time, he is working through all conceivable methods to close the door against light that God would have come to his people. He is sweeping the whole world into his ranks. And the few who are faithful to God's requirements are the only ones who can ever withstand him. And even these he is trying to overcome. So he's trying everything in his power to get us to turn away from God, to be trapped in this world. And and he's using all of these different agencies in the world to do it.
Doesn't the Bible say, if possible, even the elect he will deceive?
Yeah.
He will. I mean, even those who stay close to God, he's going to try even harder to pull them away from God.
Yeah.
And we have to stay strong in these last hours of world's history.
Yeah. We shouldn't make it easier for the devil to deceive us.
No. Stay away. Don't be an Eve. Don't wander away from that which is good and that which is safe. Yeah.
1 John 2:15-17 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
Everything that is not from God, it has to be from Satan.
There's so much darkness in this world. May we find the strength in Jesus to not fall a prey to it, but to stand as light for other people to lead them closer to Christ.
Yeah, I mean, we have to think about the future. We can't think about just here and now. You know, that's the biggest problem. It's always been a problem for me back in the day is, but he's not going to go. The Lord delayeth his coming. Or, whatever how you want to justify your own actions or whatever. But don't play with fire. We're going home soon, and we are so close to the end. Whether it is next year, whenever it is, we have to stay connected to him. And it's not burdensome. And I'm sorry, I have to say that again. It feels like it's okay. You'll only suffer with God for another while. No. It is amazing to be with him and to walk with him.
Yeah. The origin of these video games weren't from God.
No, it's not from God.
So we need to ask the question, do we want to partake in something that wasn't inspired by God?
No. Good question. Yeah. Thank you. Will you end with prayer for us? Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, the world is so dark out there, and the devil has so many vices to capture people in, so many snares where he doesn't want anyone to escape. But I pray that people that are stuck in this world, that they may receive power from you to break free, to be exposed to the light, and to know that there is a choice that they can make, a choice to follow darkness or a choice to follow light. And please, Lord, help them so that they can choose the light. I pray this in Jesus' name alone. Amen.
Amen.